We're gonna do a quick KCON tips video, and then I'm going to take everything down and take a shower. Alright guys, I went to KCON last year and I have some experience, and I would like to pass along some tips or suggestions or just general things that I ran into last year that you may be able to avoid or just have questions about this year. So let's get going. Tip number 1, register early. If you get benefits, I highly suggest that you go check in as soon as you can, because last year we checked in the day of and we were in line maybe 6 to 8 hours before they opened the gate, and we were among the first 200 people to get checked in, even less because when you filter it out by ticket type, we were maybe amongst the first 50, 75 to get checked in, and the line wrapped around the venue. People who came late didn't get in to see artist engagements because the engagements were so early in the day and they were still in line waiting to check in. So they're gonna have a check-in on Thursday, which is the day before the convention. Even if because there's artist engagements on Friday. They're having a check-in on Thursday. I recommend that you go to that check-in. If not, I recommend you get there super early on Friday, especially if you are entitled to artist engagements. That is tip number 1, get checked in. Okay, here's number 2, artist engagements. Everybody's probably gonna get a little something. They're either gonna get an activity or they're gonna get an audience. The difference is that activities are activities. You get to interact with the star and take a little something more away than just watching them do whatever. Audience is the group of people that are watching them do whatever. So if you're an audience, last year it was tiered. So there was the first tier, which is a tier that got to do an activity, usually the best activity. And then there was a tier behind them that got to do an activity as well, usually a bit tamer activity. And then the last, you can't really call it a tier, but cluster, consisted of the audience. So the audience is actually kind of pushed back a little. Because of this, if you have an audience pass, I say go ahead and line up before the artist engagement occurs. If you have an activity pass, don't bother lining up. You will be wasting time in that line. You are guaranteed your activity as long as you show up. When they let you in, then you get to do whatever it is that you get to do. It's the audience that I say line up, because if you get there sooner, you get to get that much closer, but you will waste a lot of your convention time standing in line if you have an activity pass. Just do stuff and come back when they let you in. Trust me, I spent almost all of my time in lines last year, and it wasn't until afterwards that I realized how much of that time was wasted. I had someone ask me about what bag I took. I will share the information with you. I took a backpack, a small one, because I like having my hands free, especially when it comes to stuff like this. If you are thinking of doing things like purchasing things, it helps to bring a larger bag. If you got a good tier ticket and you get a goodie bag, I do believe you get 1 goodie bag per day. So a swag bag, I think they described it online. So if you have if you have a platinum or P1, I'm not sure how far down it goes where it says swag bag, but they'll give you a swag bag with stuff in it. You can carry that around, but it was a smaller bag last year. I don't have it with me. It was a smaller bag last year, so it will probably be the same this year, and you won't be able to fit much stuff in it. It's just a lot more economical if you stick it in a bigger bag. It helps to think ahead. If you're going to buy things and you travel like I will be, bring something like a poster tube. Like if you're gonna buy posters, bring something to keep them protected. If you plan on buying a lot of stuff, leave some room in your suitcase. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're gonna need the room. I bought a freaking Korean language book. Last time I was there, it took up a chunk of room. It was a textbook. Also, if you plan on traveling from afar, such as myself, where you actually have to get like on an airplane, keep all of your stuff together. Like I get one of these things and I have my tickets are right here so I don't forget them. Don't forget your tickets. Although if you do forget them, I do believe you can go to the will call window and they'll reprint your tickets for a fee. because that happened to me last year too. I almost had a heart attack. I lost the concert ticket to the second night. It was horrible. But I have like my ride to and from the airport on here. I have my convention ticket. I have my Club KCON ticket. I have flight reservations and everything I could possibly need with me. So this goes with me so I don't forget anything. I may seem like an over planner. I just like to be prepared. And I've got phone numbers in here. I would have hotel reservations in here if I had reserved the hotel, but I didn't. It's not outside this year, it's indoors, so you don't have to worry about things like being protected from the sun, because there were a lot of really red people at that concert last year. Oh man, you felt so bad for those people with just bright red. Luckily it's indoors this year. Try to set up some sort of storage system. Lockers would have helped last year, and they probably would help this year too, but as a friend pointed out, you would really need a butt ton of lockers. So if you're going to buy a lot of stuff, maybe do it on Friday so that you don't have to lug stuff around with you on concert days if you aren't staying close enough to the venue where you don't have the time to go there and come back. Last year the times were really close. Like the convention still goes on even after the concerts start, and the red carpet was right before they let you in for the concert. So they really do push everything as close together, and there isn't a lot of time to leave and come back. So if you have a lot of stuff with you, nobody wants to bring that to a concert, so try and develop a plan to bring as little stuff as possible on concert days, or find a way to store them, or find one volunteer in your group who's not going to a concert, or like if you have your mother or father or parent there with you, just formulate a plan so that you can have all of your stuff go back to the hotel or the house or whatever while the concert is going on. Okay, I know a lot of people have a question about them. The artist passes. The artist passes last year looked like this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a focused shot of it. So I had P1 last year, and it says on there it's an artist engagement. This is a signing with Lee Seung-gi and Lee So-jin, who I don't believe was there. It was just Seung-gi, but that's okay. That's all I needed. It's this circular part here has the little silver like lottery ticket scratching part, and then when you check in for the convention, they give you all of these along with your wristbands, and then you just stand there and you scratch it. And then it tells you what you get, and this is your pass to get it. You need this, don't lose this. And it says that the pass needs to be surrendered, but they didn't take it last year, so I held on to it. What I did get was this. This is signed by Lee Seung-gi. He asked you to spell your name, and I stood there and I spelled it for him, and then he shook your hand. It was great. Woo! And while we're here, let's cover signings. They had pre-made things for signing. They kind of refused to sign anything that wasn't this. There were a few exceptions made, but I don't know why those were exceptions. So I wouldn't count too much on being able to have your own stuff signed. These are really all the tips I can think of for now. If you have any other questions about last year that I may be able to answer even this year, I kind of have a good grasp of how this year works. You can go ahead and hit me up on KTalk, or I would say Twitter, but my Twitter messages aren't really coming through. But you can at me on Twitter at these addresses. These are my IDs. These are my user IDs. You can come find me and then ask me whatever question you have. KCON is a great experience. Even if you don't really care for the groups, I really do say that you should go to KCON anyway because it's super fun. Last year I didn't really like any of the groups, and I ended up having a super awesome time and totally committing to this year regardless of what groups came. I just happened to luck out and Super Junior came. But next year I'll go too. I have no idea who's going to be there except for me. I'll be there. Hit me up if you have questions or just want to chat. I'll be around, and I'll see you at KCON.